Hello, everybody. It is so good to see you. I'm going to take a quick pic for the gram, just like, the usual. Actually, no, I'll talk first and then I'll take a quick pic. Well, I'll take it right now. It's like you took your video on. Like, okay, ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay. So, first things first, I know that we missed on July 4th because it was a holiday. So I just moved and you guys should be getting an update that it's going to be on this, not this Friday, but the upcoming Friday on August 18th at 10 a.m. And that was the time that was voted on. So you guys should all be getting, I literally just did that right now. So you guys should be getting that update in your inbox. It'll be the same link that we usually use. So if you don't typically get an email for it, it's the exact same link that we typically use, but that is the update. The other thing I wanted to offer you is that something kind of cool has happened. I just mentioned it. But last Tuesday, Stacey Bayman, who I think I've spoken about her. She was the coach for the 200K mastermind that I'm a part of. And she asked me to be a part of her podcast, the Make Money as a Life Coach podcast, that's coming out on Monday, which is very exciting. And I've had a couple of friends that are on the podcast with her. And I would never I know that we're only like 4 months in. We're 4 months in. So it's like we've had a lot of time together, almost 5. So it's like we've had a good amount of time. There is no pressure at all for anybody to do this. So just to be clear, but if you are like, hey, I really like what's going on here, I want to make sure that your businesses grow as much as possible. And so if you want to do a testimonial for the group and just be like, hey, this is what's happened because I've worked with Megan. From what I understand is, like, again, this is like totally speculation, but might be kind of neat to like have people see you guys on my page and start following you because of it. Apparently, like a lot of my colleagues have said that like their businesses, and a lot of them aren't business coaches, but like they'll end up getting like a lot of people following them and just kind of like intrigued about what they do. And there's no pressure at all for you guys to do this. But if you feel so called, I can send you this testimonial template. It's similar to like what we did at the beginning of when you guys were just like, hey, this is why I joined. This is like something I thought was kind of neat. So if you guys want to, just being like, hey, what do you love? What are intangible results? Actually, we're going to do the video one. That's going to be the preferred method of responding, and just saying like your biggest breakthrough, biggest accomplishment, take what you've learned to, excited to, and the biggest reason to join the group. So like if you want to do that, it literally, like, as you guys know about reels, like it only takes like 90 seconds at most. So if you guys want to record a video, like it could just be like a minute and you could be like, hey, it's been good. I also coach these people and it's going to help me coach more of these people. If anyone who is doing the life coach or listen to this podcast might be able to follow you, feel free to talk about and hear about like the accomplishments and excited in here, talk about your business, like, and be like, hey, this is like what I do. And being in the group is like, just like helping me to do what I do for these people. I think it could be really helpful for you guys. So I'm going to post that in the group now. If you want to do a testimonial, there's again, no pressure, obviously, but, testimonial template. If you guys want to do that, that would be like, first off, just like so helpful for me. And I'm like so grateful for anybody sharing like anything that you guys feel that has been helpful for you. It helps other people decide to join, which is just like so helpful. But if not, that's also like totally fine. Like there's no pressure ever. So I know I took a lot of the time at the beginning. We were just like talking and chatting, and I want to get into it. So what has been going on for you guys? Demetria and Andrea, what, anything new you want some coaching on? Andrea, it looks like you leaned in like you wanted to say something. And I was like, feel free to unmute. I was like,
Yeah, so yeah, not much has changed.
okay, that's okay. Give me a win. Give me like something good going on in your life. I saw that you went to New Orleans. That looked awesome. Like,
No. I went to Nashville a while ago. I went to a spa with my friend. And I really like disconnected, and we stayed there like um all day, and it was really, really great. I had a within that day I had like a great experience with some breath work. And it was very like um it was needed, and it was like eye-opening for like something I think I want to be practicing more in my day, kind of that meditation and that breath work. Um and like within that, of course, like the person leading the breath work is just like giving us affirmations to kind of like repeat to ourselves the like, I am worthy, I am loved, and all that kind of stuff. And that was very like emotional for me. So I think that those are definitely things I need to be focusing on, like saying for myself, and like creating more of that in my life.
love that.
And I don't know how many. I mean, you just said I'll win, so I guess that's fine.
That's an awesome thing. And I actually, if breathwork was helpful for you, a girl in the last group, her name's Dorit, and I'm not sure if she's still doing this. I'm gonna reach out to her, but she said that she was gonna do breathwork for free in her. I don't know if it's free. Maybe the first session's free, but like she's doing it in her Facebook group every single week. And
Oh,
so yeah, so if you want to, I can connect you with her, and I'll just make a note to myself to do that right after this call. But that could be a great way to, you can just like keep up with it. Breath work, I actually, when I first started my business, I had a personal breathwork coach for the entire summer of 2021 as I was going through the transition of like leaving teaching. And it was so helpful. My poor little nervous system was like freaking shot. And it was like, okay, you can do this, maybe. Like, let's give it a try, you know? So I love that. And I'll connect you with Dorit. What can I help you like unlock today?
um, well, I mean, it's been the same sad little story, right? Like, stopped doing all the things, and I just think it's kind of funny that like I had I'd gone to Corinne Crabtree's like business boot camp,
Mhm.
and she said something in there because like one person had asked like, well, I haven't posted in, I don't know how long it was, a while, and I just feel so much shame like coming back to it or whatever. Should I have to explain to them like, hey, like blah blah blah, this is why I wasn't posting or whatever? And she was like, nobody cares. Nobody even noticed. Like, just start posting, and that's all you got to do. Well, I haven't posted in about, I think it's been since June.
Mhm.
Actually right before my Nashville trip. So that's like the very beginning of June. And in the past like couple weeks, I've had like 5 or 6 people reach out to me and just being like, are you okay? Like, I have noticed you haven't posted. And I'm like, oh my God, nobody's supposed to be noticing this. Why are you noticing this?
Like,
Um,
how big this is? Like, people are caring about what you post.
yeah, I think they just wanted to know if I was still alive. I don't know,
Oh, but
but
that's huge. People,
yeah, yeah. So I'm trying not to just be like, oh, whatever. But um, so yeah, so I feel like, okay, all right, maybe what I was doing like mattered. obviously they found some sort of value, whether it was just, you know, keeping up with what was going on with me, or like, or the other stuff, more business stuff. So, um,
I remember Corinne was like, well, you haven't been giving value. She remember when she said that to you, or is like, it's like, we need to post
yeah.
valuable. So I want you to hear these words. They found value in what you were doing enough to actually even reach out to you. Like
Mhm.
that's huge.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, and I think we've maybe had talked about it before, which, I think that like once I graduated like life coach school in October, I think I really did have this like expectation that like, oh, things are going to take off for me now. I'm going to be so much more um reputable, right? I'm going to have so much more credibility, I guess. And then I guess coming from that, I was also kind of like, and now join programs to really like accelerate me, right? And I
Mhm.
think in a lot of that, I think I started to um trust others more than I was like trusting myself, and being able to make like those decisions for myself. And I think some of that was also coming from like feeling like certain things weren't working, so I must need someone
Mhm.
else to kind of point out what's going on and what's working, what's not working. But then that stuff didn't seem to be working either. And so I think that that's why I've come to like the complete halt and like the complete stop.
Mhm.
Um and so now I feel like I'm in this place where I'm like, I think I'm ready to start doing things again, but I feel very like I'm just like swimming in that, river of misery, and just being like, oh, the confusion, right? Like, where do I start? What should I do? Um, what should I say? Like, what even works in my business? Part of me says, well, just go back to what you were doing before, a blog post a week, a newsletter a week, a whatever. But part of me also feels like that isn't necessarily maybe what was working, but maybe just what felt comfortable, because I had a good routine with that and I was very like consistent with that. I also don't think it's wrong, because like I feel like I just need to start taking some action just to feel like I have some wins under my belt. Um but then there's also like the whole other part of like, well, but if I was just doing what I was doing before, I'm going to be just what I was before, right? Like I'm going to keep creating those same results um in my business and all of that. So,
Okay. I've got some thoughts.
okay.
It was like, well, does that feel so the fear is that if you do the same thing, you'll create the same results, right?
Mhm.
So I just find this interesting because if we're thinking about like the model, it's like you're like A to R, actions create the results. But I think that like for you, you're forgetting that you were doing the same actions and you were getting different results. What shifted? Like you
Wait,
start
say that again.
at the beginning of your business, you were doing the blog and the newsletter and you were getting clients. But you're saying that if I do what I was doing before, I'm going to not get clients. So you did the same actions and you created two different results. Why did that happen? Like in 2020, you were saying that like when did you have the influx of clients? In 2021, was it?
I think it's been like every year I was doing like more and more. So I think the first year I did like about 1,000, the second year about 5,000. Last year I was just shy of like 12,000.
Huh?
And um and yeah, and so I mean it was kind of a progression of like doing more things also, right? Like that first year, I was really only posting, like basically documenting my own weight loss journey online.
Huh?
And I had like a freebie, a one-page little PDF.
Hmm.
And then the second year, I think I was doing like, I started doing, I think, the group coaching and um I mean, I think I had a website at that point, um, blogging, but maybe not very consistently. And again, newsletters, but not nearly as consistent. And then, yeah, and then last year, like more consistency in the like blogging and the newsletters, and still posting obviously on social media for all those years as well. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as a person who loves action, like A-line stuff, I totally get this. But this is 2020, this is 2021, and this is 2022. What happened in 2023?
This year,
Yeah.
I have less than $700.
But what if like it's like right. So we again listen to how you say that. It's
Disdain, disgust.
less than $700. I'm gonna say $699. Okay. And we have like 5 months, 6 months left in the year. And your brain's like, yeah, this is never happening. Um, what are you doing now?
Action wise, nothing. Like literally nothing. Like I responded to those DMs.
Okay, okay. Responding to DMs. Okay. So, and you did this at the beginning of the year, the inconsistently though, right?
No, I was still pretty good. So, I mean, I did at the beginning of the year, I was writing newsletters, I was posting blogs, I started like a real series on, non-scale victories. Um, like I had set what I felt like was a stretch goal for income.
Mhm.
I created like this vision board and like tracking for all of the things that I wanted to do, like going live on my page. Um I've done 2 webinars. I've set up like email funnels for that. I had like a Facebook ad going for a little bit. Um, you know, I ran one group coaching thing, which, was where I got that money from. I mean, I tried doing like the outreach, stuff. Um, I built the pillars. Uh, you know, a lot of what you asked us to do for the mastermind up until probably
Yeah.
2-3 months ago.
Okay. So notice that your brain's like, if I do more, I will make more. This is the most you've ever done. right?
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
Probably ever in your business, which we just want to like take a minute and like, I know that you don't want to do this right now because you want to get to the next level, but most people never do this stuff in their lifetime. Most people never have a blog, a newsletter, ever decide to track things. They never go live on their page in their life. Like most people never even do a webinar, even coaches. But your brain's like, it's not enough, not enough, not enough. So it's like, I want to know when you are bringing in this 12K year, the doing, I don't think is, and I want to like a thought shift that has been really, really helpful for me is when your brain is trying to go from like, I'm doing nothing, it's not working, nothing is going well. It's a lot harder for your brain to go from nothing is working to like, I'm going to make the like it to like, okay, something could work. You know what I mean? Like that's like, it's just a big, big jump. So one of the things I've been doing is like, I had this thought that like my marketing wasn't working. And instead of thinking that my marketing isn't working, I've been thinking, well, my marketing's kick ass. It's made me like, how much is this? This is like almost 20K and I'm going to make it even better. And so it's like my marketing is great and I'm going to make, or it's good and I'm going to make it great. So for you right now, you're not in the good to great mindset. And I want to know what were your thoughts this year, like about business and all these things. What were your thoughts about yourself?
Back in 2022.
Yeah, just last year.
Um,
Also, can you guys hear Rob playing video games?
I could hear him for a second there.
Rob, you're so loud. I'm gonna close the door. Sorry, give me just a second. Rob. Okay. Sorry, friends. Like guys in video games are like very intense. I'm learning. I'm like they are doing the most. Okay. So within your business, I think that you have a really stable, like you have and had a really thought solid belief triad for yourself. So I think that like this was here and it shifted for a minute, which is normal. But your brain was like, oh, something's gone wrong. And it's just trying to fix it in action line. Versus I think that I don't think it's an action shift. I think it's a thought shift for you. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like, before life coach school, I think I was like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. Why?
Like, I'm doing this. Um, I mean, I still had some like, because I wanted to say like, oh, I don't think I had as much kind of like expectation.
Right. That's what happened. There was this, I wrote it down of like expectations. of like, there was something here that shifted. Also, your favorite color is pink, right?
It's purple.
It's like, I was afraid I was getting that. Okay. So it's like, I think what happened is you were like, oh, like, and your brain just forgot the amount of effort it took for you to get like mental effort. It might not even felt like effort before, but it was like, yeah, you had no expectations. It was just kind of something that you were doing from a place of like joy, maybe. Like, what was the feeling?
I don't know if it really was
Might have been joy,
like
but like,
joy or happiness or anything like that. I think it was just like, I almost want to say like excitement, or
yeah.
like, maybe not really excitement, but like, I don't feel like hopefulness is really.
And forget what people have told you about the emotions, because it was funny because people were like, they're like, don't sell from fun, don't sell from excitement. And it was funny, like, so I met this other coach, Tanner. He's hilarious. And he's like 24 years old and has a $3.4 million business doing crafting. And it's like he just cracks me up. And he's very, very southern. And he's like, oh, he was like, well, that's interesting because I only sell from fun and excitement. And I was like, well, yeah, me too, dude. And he was like, he was like, I just think it's just a little different. Like, so if excitement and hopefulness are what made you 12K, maybe they're pretty good emotions. They're not like, because I think people are like, oh, it's like, it's unstable and it's like these are weak emotions. I love selling from excitement. I love doing marketing from fun. I was like, I like to do things that are fun and bring me joy. And it's very different than what a lot of people say, like at the Life Coach School and Stacy. And I like respect and love them because I know where they're coming from. But like, what if hopefulness and excitement? And I think that you saw like a lot of potential in yourself. Like you're like, oh, this is a potential to really help a lot. Like there was some sort of like seeing like a deeper potential there that you were like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah, so I don't really necessarily think it was excitement though. I'm not a very excitable person, I don't feel like.
Andrea,
But I
shut.
think it was kind of that like, okay, like I still felt like I still held that belief that like every year is gonna get better. Like I'm just like every year is just gonna build off of the other one. Um, which I think maybe it's more, yeah, like the hopefulness, right? Like that, or that, I don't know. Yeah.
I know what kind of like the emotion is. Like it's like, oh, it's like that's what I meant by like the potential. Like I don't know what the word is, but like you're like, oh, I can like really see this happening. Like it was like a lot, like there's some sort of belief there that was like, it's gonna be every year it's gonna get better, it's gonna build off the other ones. Like momentum isn't really a feeling, but is that maybe what you were like experiencing?
Um, Anticipation. Yeah, maybe like almost like I want to be like reasonable anticipation, right? Like I felt like or maybe the feeling was also just like realistic, like felt
It
just
just,
believable.
yep, it just felt believable.
I mean, it just felt maybe just like true. I mean, I don't want to really say like certain. Like I wasn't feeling like.
No, I know what you mean, but it just felt like good, like solid, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely cautious optimism, not total optimistic, but
Yeah, exactly. And this is, I know that you have like about the visions that you have for this business and the things that you want to create from it. And I was talking at the 200K mastermind with my friend Olivia Vicheria. I don't know if you guys know her, and Janae. And they were saying that they were like, oh, we had plans. They were like, we were going to hustle our way to millions and we were ready for it. And they were like, we thought we could just do a bunch of stuff. And I don't know if this is where it was coming from, but they were like, yeah, like obviously my business is going to keep growing, doubling every year. It's going to be great. It's going to keep growing. And both of them are like me in a lot of ways, in that like I kind of let like the thought work go. And it was like, yeah, like, okay, like, yeah, but like it's more so what we're doing that is really creating our results. and both of them have had like stagnant years. Not necessarily stagnant years, but like they've been growing, but it's been very, very hard and very, very like it's been really like a challenge. And I think they both of them have shared about it, and like pretty publicly. And so that's why I feel comfortable sharing that with you guys. But I think that what I learned is that like, so the person who ran my breakout room, her name is Charlotte Smith, and she was at 700K last year, scaling to millions this year. And she was like, it really is all about your thoughts. She was like, yeah, like, and I just, what she does is she's like, I get super grateful for where I am. And then she's like, wouldn't it be amazing if I could do this? Wouldn't it be like awesome? Like, I'm so grateful. I've got a roof over my head. I'm feeling great. And I want to like, I think it'd be awesome to create some more. I think that when we get into the expectation phase, that's what happens is you kind of like lose that, like, just like, oh my gosh, I can do this is amazing. I'm like maybe not really excited, but it's like there was a feeling of like, wow. And I think it was like the no expectations, and what it's like, it was like you were, I feel like probably a little bit more detached from the results. Like you weren't making it mean as much about you, but you were also committed. Does that kind of like resonate? These were the emotions that she was saying that like were really driving her business. And I think that's what happened for you. And now you're getting to learn this at the like pre 20K year phase instead of learning it at the 500K phase, where you can get to this feeling of detached commitment without expectations and grow your business from this place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
within your business now, what kind of things like what were you thinking and feeling now? And we just have to like get back to those thoughts and feelings.
I mean,
It's not
literally, what are my thoughts and feelings? I mean, not right in this moment, but I mean, I've really been struggling with like, do I even continue?
uh-huh.
Like, is it time to quit?
Mhm.
Um, there's definitely not enough people out there for everyone. And kind of, how we were illustrating with the action line, and what you're sharing about those other people hustling their way, like a, a thought that was really, I think, weighing on me the most was like, because even when I'd gone to Corinne's mastermind, because like if I could be her, right? If I could have as successful of a business, impact that many lives. I mean, don't even get me started on imposter syndrome there, but like that's the dream, right? And that's what the dream that fueled me years 1 through 3, right? But then this year that thought changed, and it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I want to have that just as much impact as her. My
Mhm.
thought then turned into, oh my God, I bet she never stops working. She just works all the time and
Oh,
it's terrible. And I bet I don't even want that.
this is huge. This is a different thing than we have ever heard before. Stops working. I don't even, what was it? I don't even want that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is like time for money. It's like you think that in order to have like you went from I want to have just as much impact as her to like she works all the time. It's really hard for her. And of course, I don't want that. This is
Mhm.
like actually instead of a belief triad, this is a bit of a motivational triad thing where like your brain's like subconsciously been trying to um conserve energy, seek pleasure, and like because it's thinking that at her stage, she is working a lot. Is that true? Has she shared about her schedule and things like that? Does she work all the time?
Um, I mean, she didn't share like her exact schedule. No, she doesn't, I don't think, work all the time, but I mean, there were just different things that she was like, and if my team doesn't have time to work on it, then I'm gonna do it. And for her, she said that like the most useful feeling that you can generate in your business is willingness, and just being like willing to like do the work. So she kind of goes off a little bit, like, not necessarily needing to feel motivated, excited, or, you know, ready or anything. She was like, you just need to feel willing to like do the work. So I feel like there's a little bit more of a hustle nature, but
And that's worked for her. So obviously that's what she's teaching. And I want to point you in the direction of another coach who you went to the life coach school, Brooke, who works 3 days a week.
yeah.
Stacey also works 3 days a week. And on our podcast that we were talking about, she was like, it's not necessarily, she was like, if it doesn't get done, then we just push it to later. Like, yeah, me too. I'm like, if it doesn't get done, I'll do it later. And it has not affected my ability to impact at all. Like it's fascinating that your brain's like what really creates your results is work. And actually really creates your results is the way that you think and feel as you do the work. So you can do it. And I think willing is like a useful emotion for sure. Yeah. She also has like a ton of people. It's
Yeah.
like,
And she has a whole team that she manages.
yes.
I know.
So it's
But
like,
then I go into my little sad song of like, but you also have a full-time job and 4 kids and
story that
don't have time for any of this, but that's another.
trust me, I get into time scarcity. Like time scarcity can happen at every level with every story. And I think so there's like the major conflict in psychology is this goal to like seeing that in somebody else. I don't think you would feel as motivated. I don't think that you would have this thought. I want to have this much impact as her if this wasn't something you were supposed to do or like have within your frame of reference. That's just what I choose to believe. And I also think that like how amazing is it that you're getting this opportunity with all of your weight loss clients too? Like it's like they think that like losing weight is a lot of work, right? Is it a lot of work? Do they have like is it really, really hard?
No, I actually at one point was considering like marketing my stuff as 5-minute weight loss. Not that you lose weight in 5 minutes, but like you really only need 5-minute increments, like 5 minutes to do your plan in the morning, like 5 minutes to assess at night, and like you can build on your weight loss just like 5 minutes at a time. But I felt like, I don't know, it might have been too gimmicky to have people like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't think so. But like here's the thing, because you want to be just like her. The way that Corinne lost weight, was it really hard for her to lose weight? Did you have to like hustle a bit? Is it
Um,
makes you different than her?
I
Maybe?
mean, she does the whole writing a plan kind of thing, although I'm not 100% sure what all went into it. I mean, she, it was like, and then she started with like, yeah, like a 5-minute walk, right? Like not really
Huh?
jumping right in and hustling. Like it was small incremental changes built on each other.
Okay. So first off, this idea needs to be happening in the world. Like it is so good. I'm like, no, it's not gimmicky. I think that a ton of people would be very interested in it because there's so much more about like creating that, what is it? Like the consistency and it's like
The momentum,
the like compounding effect. So it's like the compounding effect to take off pounds. Because that's how you did it, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So was it hard? but it worked. It wasn't that hard.
That's where I'm at in my journey. Right
You
now,
are,
I have like 10 pounds left, and I'm like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
but they don't need help with that part. They need help with the first part. Notice that your brain is like always going to the thing that you haven't figured out yet. There's always
Yeah.
going to be something that you haven't figured out yet. I promise. If it's not the weight loss, then it'll be the kids, and then like maybe then something in your relationship is kind of come up. I don't know. There's always going to be something else, but you know how to get them started,
Mhm.
and it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're thinking about like your business, what were your thoughts about the 5-minute weight loss plan?
What was I thinking about
About this, like,
about that?
yeah, to do it.
I was like, I'm being too gimmicky. I feel
No,
like a
no.
oil
When
salesman.
you're actually, notice your brain. When you're actually doing the 5 minutes a day and just like
Uh,
using this compounding effect, what were your thoughts about like just doing weight loss for you in general? I'm trying to glean different thoughts for you. Like these thoughts are very good thoughts for you, and the other thoughts about your weight loss. And we just need to do a quick thought swap. It's not something that like you need to go like deep into the depths of your soul and be like, everything needs to change now, because it's like,
right.
you seem to quick, good to great. Your business is good. You know how to do this. You know how to market. You know how to sell. We just need to take it from good to great.
I mean, so when I was losing weight that way, I was just like, this is so easy. This makes my life better. Like, I'll get to my goal in no time.
Yeah. How did that feel?
How did that feel? I mean, I felt, I mean, I was excited, I think.
What else?
There was some certainty. I just felt like I had no doubts about it. Um, and I was like at peace. I felt like I had discovered what I knew all along, right? Like just listen to your body.
I knew all along. Just listen to your body. Okay. So, what if with these thoughts, it's funny because you were like, yeah, I got into what was it? You said you were like, yeah, it was too comfortable. It was too routine. It was too consistent. So I had to do something else. Was it easy? Your business when you were like just posting in the routine?
Yeah, I mean, it was like Wednesdays we post a blog, we send out a newsletter, Thursdays we resend it, like do my Tuesday transformation post on Tuesdays, my Friday face to face. Like it was very like I knew very much like what I was gonna do.
Yeah. Okay. So, and your brain was like, hey, opportunity for self-sabotage. She's getting bigger. Let's totally like just do a quick self-sabotage, because you were like, yeah, I had all this stuff that was working, and then I just like wanted to stop. And it's like, no. You could do the same things and it can feel easy, and you can still make a huge impact. And you'll reach your goals in no time.
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like you are like within your business, you're discovering what you knew all along? Like that you just need to like listen to your intuition, like whatever you want to like think of, it's like, this is really what I want. What if your business could be as easy as losing the first 90 pounds?
Um, I just feel really, I don't know, I guess I feel very stuck on like, but I can't just do what I was doing and get
Hey,
results.
hey.
I guess I don't know, like it just doesn't make sense to me because I feel like I've been told that like social media is not the place where you get clients, or
That's not how Corinne
you
built
have to
her
cast a
business.
wider net. You got to go get on like podcasts or whatever. I mean, even at the business boot camp, Corinne was telling me that like, yeah, me personally, we were just having a conversation, but she was telling us that like for every like one sign up that they have to get out in front of like 1,200 people or
Yes,
whatever.
really hard. She's selling a very hard business. I'm like that's for every one post that I do, like I haven't mapped it out that much because you don't need to do it that much. Like eventually we'll probably get to that point where we need to do Facebook ads and shit, but you're not there. What if you could sign the next person just by doing what you could do? I think that you started using Corinne's business very much against yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and be like, okay, that's really cool for her. Like, that's awesome. I'm so glad that she, like, that's worked for her in the past. But
Mm.
I've gotten pretty much all my clients off of social media and word of mouth. And that's how I built six figures. It's like very, you know what I mean? And so it's like within you, it's like you don't need to cast a wider net. This is stuff if you're scaling to 7, 8 figures, yeah, sure. It's like this is like what we need to do. Can you put that on the shelf for a minute just to get the next person?
Yeah.
Because right now your brain is like, how can I go from 699 to six figures? And the way that you do that is one person at a time. And that's how Corinne did it too, by the way, at the beginning of hers. But she had a subscription at first. So it's also like, do you want to have a subscription right now? Probs not, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want right now? Do you want to coach people in a group? Do you want to coach one-on-one? What do you love to do?
I mean, I like coaching one-on-one, but I have better success selling group coaching, and in my mind it's because it's a lower price point
And which means what?
that it's easier to sell.
Okay. So which would be something that would make you feel like excited, certain, doubt free, and at peace? Which would you want to do? If they could both be easy, make your life better. And there's no like it I heard a lot of like I should be doing this, like where was it? It was like you were talking about like, oh, it was like I feel like I should be, you said something like I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And I was like, um, anyways, and I was like, you are shitting on your life. And I want you to think about what you would actually want to do.
I mean,
You said you really like coaching one-on-one, right?
I do, but it feels more, I've had greater success selling my group coaching program. So I feel like if we're going with more certainty or doubt free, like I feel like I would probably be selling that group coaching program.
What if you could have the thought it's easier to sell one-on-one?
I mean, that feels like we're living in the land of fairy tales.
All right, so let's do the group. Do you have fun coaching the group? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do. I yeah, I always looked forward to it, and selfishly I also like it because it takes up less time in my schedule, right? It's just an hour phone call and I can get, 4 to 6 people coached in that amount of time, and they seem to really enjoy it and don't really mind that they only get about 10 to 15 minutes to talk before we move on.
Okay. So what if, okay, so for this group, let's sell the group. What would you want to think about the group as you're about to sell it right now and like just re-enter the world doing the same shit that you did before? But what would you need to think instead? Like, and maybe like I can do this. There was a thought, I want to have as much impact as her. I'm gonna make this happen. This was a good thought that you had that you're, I think, currently using a little bit against yourself because you're trying to go from like, hi, I've never had a business. She had her business for like how many years before she like even found the life coach school? Wasn't it like, it was a long ass time, like 14 years. You're like trying to compare yourself to like a 20-year-old business and you like have just birthed this business. Like it's a 3-year-old compared to a 20-year-old. And you're like, why aren't you doing college? You should be doing better. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. She's had 20 years in this. I mean, I really do think that she's had it for like 20 years. She's had a business for a long time.
Yeah. And if any of us have any drama about what we call our businesses, hers was literally fit and fat. So that always makes me laugh a little bit because it's like we can really name our things anything we want.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that was awesome. So what would you want to, how many people do you want in this? Would it be so fun that you would like enjoy having in this next cohort?
um, I mean, if I could have like 6 people.
Okay, let's aim for 6 and we're not gonna like, so it's like we're gonna assign
Megan, because when I joined this mastermind, I decided I was going to be focusing on
one-on-one.
one-on-one. So I kind of announced to everybody um in my thing that when I launched it, it was going to be for like the last time. So I feel like I can't launch it again. Like I don't want to lie to my people,
Okay.
And I
So
guess I could create like a new like group coaching program, and that feels a little.
okay, do you see how you're basically I have to do work to make this business work? Like it's just like you're constantly like fighting against yourself, and it's like that's fine. That's what our brains are designed to do. However, if you could just be like, the group is coming again,
Yeah.
or you could be like, I'm just sticking with one-on-one. Either or. It again, like what Corinne was saying in that case, like I'm like, it really doesn't matter. If people are not paying that close attention to you in that way, I don't think they are like clearly wanting you. They have like 5 to 6 people reaching out to you, like, hey, I would love to work with you, but you can always change your mind. I could choose to shut down one-on-one next week and then open it back up the next week. I could choose to shut down the group forever and then do something else. Like it's your business. You're not like you don't have to shut and have to the whole time with your business. So like let's tell the group again, be like, the group was closed and now I'm bringing it back. You have really good thoughts about the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just like know this your brain is like, oh my God, I'm gonna be an imposter. Like I've got like all like just allow those thoughts to like come and go. Just like you probably did with like the weight loss when you were like, oh, do I want to eat right now? Or do I want to like, what do I need to feel right now? And maybe that's a willingness to just feel uncomfortable, but like do it anyways. We can go with that. So what would the thoughts need to be to sell this group right now? It's ironic because you have 5 or 6 people that already reached out to you. So like what those are your
Just asking how I was doing, making sure I was okay. Um, I don't know. I think I would just have to think that like they want this. This is gonna help them. Like they'll be so excited about this. I don't know.
Mhm. And notice that the difference here is what I think I mentioned before, focusing on yourself versus serving. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm not gonna think about myself anymore. I'm not gonna think about people's perception of me. I'm just gonna show up and serve. I know this is the best thing for them. It's really gonna help them. Do you see what I mean? Like the difference between because you were like, okay, when you're focusing on them, how does that feel? Versus like focusing on how people are gonna perceive you and fears about that.
I mean, it feels lighter for sure. It feels, um, I don't know, feels, yeah, I mean, a little bit, I guess, excited and like, um, happy or content.
What would you, and we're gonna take the same A line of stuff that you were doing that worked. Okay.
Hmm.
We're gonna leave out some stuff, like the new stuff. We can take out like whatever feels like light, like this could be really helpful for them. This is something that's going to shift their mindset, focusing on them instead of focusing on you. Because within, like, I even just like got this coaching. It was like your business is about you, but it's not about you at the same time. You figured out this 5 minute weight loss. You've been able to lose weight while being a mom, while having a job, and you've been able to do this. And I think this is what the world needs right now. And it could be like losing weight 1 hour at a time. Take time each week to figure out why you're stopping losing the weight. And guess what that result would be?
I make $20,000 by the end of the year.
Maybe it's like, but the result that you want is you want to sign people into the group, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I want to be.
this thought, this is going to help them,
Mhm.
you'll be able to help them. There's no right way to build a business. There's just the way you choose to make right.
Mhm.
This is the way. Just having the group coaching, having your website up, doing blogging, newsletters, and posting consistently. That's how you're going to sign 6 people. We're going to choose that today. Just like you chose that you were going to lose all this weight, it's just a choice. What would you, and then I want you to just get to work being like, hey, everybody, I'm back. Took the summer off. Let's go.
Mhm.
How does that feel?
Yeah, I think I'll give it a try.
What if, would you want to post by next week for fun?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I was thinking next week I'm on vacation, so we should probably just like do it today.
Let's do it. Let's just get started posting.
So tonight, y'all just head over to my profile, give it a like.
Hell yeah, post it in the group. We're gonna fucking celebrate you because we all have been here and supporting you, and we like all have your back. This is like a family. We've all been through phases like this in our business. And if you guys haven't, it's coming. It's gonna be real. And we've got your back through this. So I'm really, really proud of you. Yes. Are you feeling complete and ready?
Yeah.
And just think about them. Be like, okay, anytime your brain's like, oh my gosh, I'm focusing on me, just start focusing on them. Being like, what would be awesome for them today? The another thought I have is like, they'll never lose or they'll never have the business if I don't do the work. And it's like, what if they might never lose the weight if they don't hear from you?
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you.
So, all right, Demetria, how are you today?
like, is it my turn? I felt like I was coached with Andrea because I was like, yes, I know, right.
Yes.
So that coaching was for me too. So I'm good. Andrea, I'm gonna post tonight too, because I have not been as consistent as I need to. So I will be posting tonight with you. So
Put it
we
in the
will
group
post
and we will
together.
like it. We will like
Okay.
it. You'll comment. We
Okay.
got you.
Yeah. So I mean, and I have a whole lot of the same thoughts that Andrea is having. Um, one of mine too is that now I'm doing this full time and I should be doing more. I've been doing a lot of traveling. It's going to slow down a bit, although I won't be here next Tuesday because I'll be with my mama for her birthday. That's important. That's, I'd want to do things like that. But I do want more consistency because I know that I need to build that. And beginning of July, I had 2 consults, one ghosted and one signed. And I think I was being a little more consistent then. So that is my thing. And I have my hours and I do work. It's not all consuming content. But I need to produce more. And I think I still get some hung up on like what to say a little bit and not being so robotic, but so the guy I'm dating, he was like, he listens a little bit. It's so not his wheelhouse, but he'll listen sometimes. And he said I was robotic. And he's like, when you start to like let your personality come out and shine through, these are his words. He's like, it'll be Katie bar the door. Like nobody says that, but so that's what I'm trying to do. But then I feel like I'm very hemmed up on professional. So, and like today, I don't feel professional, but I took the picture because I'm trying to relax a little bit and do it my way. That like this won't be my way all the time, but I'm also, yeah, I don't know. So there are a lot of things going on, but overall, I feel good about it. And I think I just need to give myself permission to keep going, keep doing what I'm doing, but be more consistent with it.
Yeah. And so, but the thing is, it's like, what would you be thinking if your business was more consistent? What would you think about it?
If like clients were more, or if I were more consistent.
Both. If you were like, because you were like, I seem to be more consistent in order, what do you think will happen from having a consistent business?
If I'm consistently doing the things that I feel like I need to do for like posting, marketing, going to networking things, I think the people will come.
Did you know that you can have this thought even while not necessarily doing things consistently? That
The
is,
people will come.
yeah, the people will come, are coming. The people are like, they're absolutely here. People need this. Like, I want you this because it's like I'm hearing a lot of perfectionism in both of you guys today, which is like so fun. It's like, but I want you to imagine how stressful it would be if, and I was thinking about this because I was like, I didn't self coach pretty much for all of July. And I was like, oh my God, like it kept me from that perfection, kept me from actually just doing self coaching one day. Just like being like, oh, hey, this is something I want to get back into the feeling of doing it. And like, I never want you to use my systems. I never want you to use your plans. I never want you to use someone else's business model ever against yourself. I know it's like you're holding yourself to an impossible standard. And I'm sure like your business most likely won't be consistent all the time. Doesn't mean that people need it any less. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect in order for people to come. So what came up there?
Um, I mean, it's yeah, it probably won't be consistent. Like, I know that there will be ebbs and flows, and I'm okay with that. But I feel like I have to be consistently doing what I do, and I know that like the traffic to me will be, it'll come in waves, I think.
Okay.
You know
So
what I mean? I'm like, I don't feel like I can slow down because I need to build it. And I know, I feel like if I slow down, then the waves will like slow down. If
right.
I am consistent, then I will at least have maybe bigger waves. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I spent too much time at the beach this year.
It's like but I totally get it. It's like we think that like consistency with the actions will create bigger results, you know?
Yes.
But it's like the time that you took away from your business, the time that you guys are taking away from posting, that's time that you probably felt like filled up in your life, right? And as you guys are both life coaches, it's like those are the things that we want to be portraying, is that we want to be portraying, oh, we're living our lives and we can have this. But when you're thinking about this consistency piece and you're thinking about like, oh, like I have to be consistent in order for people to come, you're missing out on like when you're coaching your clients. If a client came to you and was like, oh, I have to be consistent in order to change my life and curate it. What if that's the thought that that girl with her broken leg was having? I'm going to lose out on the consistency, so I should just stop.
Right. Yeah.
But did she need to stop?
No.
Why?
Well, because I think she could have made strides in other areas and that
Yeah.
would have helped her that she could build on.
Uh-huh. In other areas to build on. So I want you to just like, what if the strides that you've made in other areas of your personal life, with your travel, with your sense of adventure, with your learning, with your sense of love, is what's actually going to give you the waves?
True. Yeah.
Because people can, like, when people are working with you, they can feel, they're like, oh, I want to live a life like that. She just quit her job and she's going and doing all these fun things and posting it on her stories. That sounds amazing. Is that how she curated her life? I'm so curious. I can't wait till the next time she posts.
Right. Yeah. That's true. And so because I would tell my client that, or clients or anybody, like, you can't wait till everything's perfect to do something.
And didn't you just do a podcast about it?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So I want to offer you something about like about the like the perfectionism and the producing more and not being professional. Just the same thing I was telling Andrea. It's like, okay, currently my marketing is very professional. The way that I talk is very professional, and that's amazing. And it's built my business up until this point. And I like, how amazing is that? And I'm going to work on relaxing a little bit more. That's that good to great versus like, oh, I was too professional. It's bad. I need to relax in order for it to be good. It's like, it's already good. It is getting views. It's helped my grandmother. It's like, it's doing all these amazing things.
Mm.
And I'm going to take it to the next level and go to great.
Yes. And I think I would have more fun with it. I'm having fun now, but I think, yeah, I think I'm funny sometimes. So like I want to be more fun and light, because I think you can do both, right? You have to laugh at things a lot to get through. So
yeah. So what are you thinking that makes you feel like your business is fun?
well, I mean, I enjoy all of it. I enjoy like seeing people change and the transformation, and I love all the mindset stuff. And I need to realize that it didn't have to be so serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fun fact, with your neurons and thinking about building a business, it takes your neurons it's either 40,000, I think it's 40,000 times to think the same thought to change it if you are in a state of intensity. And if you can be in a state of play, it only takes 40 times. It's
Okay.
like so the levity actually is the way to win. It's like actually like if you want to, if you want, and Andrea, I think you were feeling a lot lighter about your thoughts about weight loss. You're like, oh yeah, it just takes 5 minutes. And I think that's why you changed so quickly. But your business has been really intense. So it's like if we can just take that same analogy, your brain's going to be able to shift faster and it's going to work. It doesn't have to be so intense. And it's like, and I wanted to say that on Stacey's podcast, but I didn't. But it's like I think a lot of us are selling like we're getting sold a very like serious business model, which is great. And it's like, oh, you have to be a powerful CEO, and this is what powerful CEOs do, and they get up and they do this. And it's like I think we need to like redefine what we want our businesses to be because we get to choose. This is
Right.
curious for business.
Right. And one of the things, and not for me, not against anybody else, but I really do think that I need to kind of quote unquote get out of the coaching world. Like, I'm not obviously going anywhere, but not spending so much time in like coaching websites and groups and things like that, and go out and talk to the regular people because they don't know and they don't have the same, they're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Opposed to all the, the fact that we think everybody's doing it, everybody's not doing it.
Literally nobody's doing it. It's like the amount of people who are life coaches or found coaching is like so minimal. It's
Right.
ridiculous. And I think
Right.
that like that's a way for our brains to keep us safe and familiar. But like, yes, get out of the coaching world, talk to people. It's
Right.
huge. And
Yes. And when I think about like, because Andrea, we were saying that you feel like everybody's doing it and there's nobody else. Think about CVS and Walgreens. They're on every corner and they're always right next to each other and they're everywhere. Like you can just keep driving and you're going to get to 2 more in a few minutes, or Target, or the number of banks.
yep.
Yeah. Like,
But everybody still needs it.
right. But
Yeah.
we're just looking at like this one small portion of the internet and Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so funny because that's like the exact thing that like I found. I was like talking about all the stuff that I'd heard on podcasts and people are like, what? This is changing my life. Oh my God, this is amazing. And something that Charlotte said that she does when she is creating her marketing, which is really cool. So she is saying that I was giving a bit much of the A line. I'm like telling people how to do things. Y'all should look at my presentations one. I literally like teach them how to pitch. It's like there's no reason for people to work with me. Of course. But it was like what she was saying that she does is she's like a lot of times in her posts and stuff like that, if you are getting stuck with like, what do I post? She's saying that she goes through and says like an unintentional model that she was working with somebody and is like, and then I was able to coach them and they were able to shift this in their life. Not saying what the coaching was, not saying what the mindset trick was, but like just being like, I asked them 5 questions and they were able to create this. And I was like, oh, so like going back into your old calls, like listening to them being like, what were even like if you've done peer coaching with people, like what was something that like I was able to help them shift. And that's a really like just an easy way to market, like super
That's
fun.
a good idea.
It's
a great idea.
Just to make it easier. Now I want to know what if you were to like as you're working in your business, what result do you want to create? And like if we're thinking about like in your business, how many clients like would be so fun to sell in August? Like how many clients would you like just really enjoy bringing in
this month?
Yeah.
4 would be great.
Okay. Awesome. And remember, it's like one of the things like, so my goal was 150K this year. And Tanner, the same guy, was like, honey, why not make it 200? That would just be so fun, wouldn't it? And I was like, that would be so fun. I was like, thank you, Tanner. But like, I literally just like hear his voice in my head all the time. And he's like, you are awesome. He's like, everybody wants to work with you. He's like, you should be 200. Like, just why not? It'd be great. And I'm like, so it's like that, why not? Like, wouldn't that be so fun? if you get 1 client, if you get 0 clients, if you get 4 clients, 5, 7 clients, who
Right.
knows? But it's like the more you can have fun with this, like, and just being like, set like this intention out there and be like, I would really, just like what we did with Andrea, like, I would love to sign like 6 clients in this group. You want to sign 4 clients this month. What would you need to be thinking in a light, fun way to bring in these humans?
It'll be fun to see the change that they create for themselves.
Hmm? How would that feel?
That would feel, I think, I want to say encouraging. Maybe that's not quite the word. Probably a little energizing for me, like to know that I get to help them make that change.
Hmm. Oh, I like that thought. I want to and am ready to help them make the change. Because you figured it out, right? Like, I figured out something that can really help people and change their lives. And so if you were now, we just get to be really curious. I wonder who those 4 people are. Like, Andrea, I wonder who those 6 people are. I want you to picture them in your head. I want you to picture going onto the group calls. Demetria, I want you to picture going onto your one-on-one calls and like seeing 4 consults sign up. What would be like an awesome way that you can create these 4 clients? What do you want to do? Obviously, get out of the coaching world. This is huge. Talking to the regular people.
Right.
What else?
I just saw a invitation for a networking thing on Saturday. I'm going to do that.
Awesome.
And I am going to reach out to some people that I know just to interview them and ask them some questions about what they're working on, how they would describe like what they might need or what they feel like they need right now in life. So then that will help me with my kind of hone my messaging to my ideal client.
I love it. And I've got like a little worksheet if you guys want from that old program I did. And it was, if you wanted to do an ideal client interview, these took me like a full hour, but it was like, and so I just like highlighted the ones that I thought were like important. The other thing I was about, like Chat GPT, you could ask them, like when we were talking about like that little training, like you could be like, what are the 5 things that people in this age group are doing? What are 5 things that they are confused about? What are 5 things that are stopping you from achieving your goals? Like things like what it's like. And because then like sometimes people might not be super honest, and you could be like, I'm going to ask here, what is the day in the life? What has been your journey? It's like, these are just some good questions, and I'll share with you guys too.
It's awesome.
Of course. And the result is you're going to build your business and bring clients in. And you're going to help people, like this thought, I'm ready to help people change. You're going to help people change this month. And how cool would it be if you signed 4 people? Like, I really want you to like have that in your mind and be like, wow, this would be awesome. Not from a completely detached and committed place, just like I was telling Andrea.
Right.
How do you feel now?
I feel good.
Are you open to any coaching from anybody else? I forgot to ask Andrea if you want to.
Absolutely.
Any ideas from any of the other humans? We feeling pretty good? Amazing. Well, of course, if anybody has any ideas, feel free to bring it. And Vindia, Media, on next.
I didn't really have a lot on my mind today. I was just kind of here to kind of listen. So
I love it. What has been going on for you? What are some wins for you recently?
okay. I would say a win is I've just been kind of taking the time to enjoy this lull in my business. Like it's not great, but also I know I won't get this amount of free time in a while.
I totally agree. And this is one of like the things that I've been taking advantage of. I'm like, I'm just like loving like living life right now. Like y'all, I'm going to Brazil on Thursday. What? Like who does that? I'm doing this. Like it's so fun. And like the time and energy that you take away from your business is truly like if you can actually take it away from the business, it's going to help you serve so much more because it's giving you a breath of life experience. And especially like as a freelance writer, getting a chance to like hear new perspective and just experience new things, it'll always help your business grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Today I'm meeting with a fellow freelancer and I'm also going to a freelancing networking event for women freelancers in Canada, which is so specific.
I will.
I'm very excited for that.
What is your goal for the fall?
The fall. So the fall, I have a newsletter project that I'll be starting on. So I think getting back into the swing of things with that would be nice. And then I also have like a financial goal that I'm trying to meet and put money towards.
What is it?
I want to build my emergency fund. So I want to add like around $4,000 more to that.
Okay, awesome. More. And what are you trying to move? You were just living in that apartment for the summer. You were subletting.
Yes.
Are you thinking about like getting another moving out anytime soon? Or are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm looking for a realtor to help me with that just because I don't know the area that well. Like I like this building that I'm in, but I don't really see the point in me living in like the downtown core. Plus I know we like talked about me kind of traveling for the winter months, so
Mhm.
I don't know if it would be the best idea to kind of move in during the fall or winter.
Yeah. Do you have any like goals around that, like traveling more?
Ooh, I'm thinking Raleigh to be honest. Um,
Coming!
Raleigh or Texas would be nice.
I was gonna say Demetri's in Texas.
Oh, are you really? Where
Mhm.
in Texas?
Austin,
Oh, Austin. Austin's been on my list for a long time.
come see me.
I will if I do.
So is there anything that like within your like have you planned out because it's something that like Rob and I are thinking about for like the digital nomad year. I'm like trying to figure out, okay, how much money would I need to make to have the lifestyle I want as we potentially travel in Europe for in the not the next year, but the year after that. So do you
Mm,
know how much money you would want to make that happen?
I think if it was like a week-long stay, I'd want to budget like this is just like in a very high range, but like probably 1,200.
Okay.
Um,
That then that will make things easier. So do you know how many people you need to like work with in order to make that amount of money? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Do you know how much like how many people you would need to like how many newsletters or things you would need to work with? Oh, is everyone frozen on my end? Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Oh, the overhead mic. Ah,
Sorry, I just muted myself because that was like out of nowhere. But um, so right now I have two regular clients. So I'd want to look into adding maybe two more. Oh, speaking of, I have a new client actually. I'll be starting to work with Yahoo News, which is super exciting.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that like within like, this is something that I want to, that like Charlotte was talking about like a lot. She was like, having these intentions, these numbers set without being detached to them, without like beating yourself up if you don't hit them. And that's why I like the like, wouldn't it be awesome? How neat would it be? Like, that's something I'm playing with. I'm like, wouldn't it be fun to have 30 people in this group? I'm like, that would be awesome. I would love that. That would be like, just feel like helping so many people. So when you're thinking about like setting these numbers and these intentions, it's not about necessarily hitting the numbers. And that was like Tanner's point too. He was like, even if you get like 160K, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be great? And I'm like, yeah, it would be great. I'm like, yeah, literally, I'm gonna just like, I have to have him come and talk about something because you guys just have to hear his voice. I'll like tag his page because he just cracks me up. But like within like having like wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be fun to just go and travel? And the more you can like dream big like that, the better it'll be. Now, currently about the 2 regular clients and adding these 2 more people that you would want to work with, what would you need to be thinking about your business and about your, like, because I know that like something that we've been working on a lot is like your belief in yourself to be like a really freaking great writer. What would you need to think about yourself to be like, yeah, these 2 people want me and they're definitely going to sign me for like this 4K more that I want a month?
Yeah, I think the thought that always like stops me from, fully believing in myself is like whenever I get like a lot of edits on my work and I'm like, oh no, this kind of like affirms that I'm a terrible writer. Like I have an assignment that I've been kind of putting off a little bit because I received so many edits on it. And I think one thought that has helped me is like it's okay to, have a lot of edits as long as I'm progressing towards, a better final product. Like just try.
Now, product, just try. Why are you, when you're thinking about like just trying, I think that's good. It's like that's the good thought. And I want to help move you to like the great thought that might be like the more they edit, like there's something about like making the final, it's like something about the edits and the opportunities coming up. Because I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, every time that I have an opportunity to work with a company, I'm going to get a lot of edits, because I could see that adding 2 more could then become a source of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that? I don't want to like put thoughts in your head, but like
I think like for me, it's like, especially because, this is a contractor role. I see my role is in having to, deliver like a polished product seriously. Like I take that very seriously. So I feel like very guilty. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's like if it's not perfect, then what was the point of them, in working with me?
Yeah, and so I want you to imagine trying to get these new clients. This perfectionism has been the theme, everybody. Oh, so fun. I'm like, everyone's got some perfectionist. Same. Also, it doesn't go away, but you just find different ways that it's showing up. But like, if it's not perfect, what's the point? How does that feel?
Not great.
Yeah, not great,
It,
right?
it forces me into the freeze response, which is what happens when I get very overwhelmed and I have a lot of things to do. I just like freeze and I do nothing.
So that it was interesting. You're like, in video, I've done this too. Literally for the past like 5 months, I've been like, yeah, like I'm doing fine. I like don't even need coaching. I was like, yeah, I don't even need any coaching on anything. And I was like, oh, it was like literally like my like it's like it's self-silencing, I think is like the like it's like a different kind of self-sabotage where you like don't even let the like negative thoughts in, because and then you like don't even ask for coaching and things like that. But I could see that this could potentially be a problem if you're thinking that like every time I have to deliver a perfect, a polished product seriously, and if it's not perfect, what's the point? Anytime that you're trying to set a goal to bring in more clients, if this is going on in the background, that's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Because what are you not doing when you're thinking, if it's not perfect, what's the point? and you're feeling not great, which maybe like, is it insecure? Let's get like a little bit more curious. It's like, if it's not perfect, what's the point?
I think it comes down to like the self-worth aspect.
Hmm?
Um,
Like insecure or like,
yeah, and I kind of like revert back to my old self where
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, this whole writing thing was a mistake. Why did I do this? Or I'm not even good at this. Like, what's the point?
Well, I love that you were like, I don't really need coaching. I'm feeling good. I was like, yep, I know. I was like, I did this too. I was like, yeah, maybe I'm a terrible business coach. I like literally have had so many thoughts. I'm like, no, I can help people. It was just like fun. Our brains go when we're like, yeah, when we're feeling okay. Cause I think what's happening is like, is it inadequate or insecure?
I would say probably inadequate. Yeah.
Those are just like the two emotions that I always like put in with like the self-worth stuff. But yeah, so what happens is your brain has been like, it used to be really loud. Like I think that you used to be hearing like, I'm a bad writer. This whole writing thing is a mistake. Like, and it used to be like loud and at the forefront of your brain.
Yeah.
And now it's just like a quieter version. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, maybe this isn't really good. Maybe this is like a whole thing is a mistake. But what are you not thinking about yourself when you're thinking that like when you get edits, your goal is to deliver a polished product seriously, and you're thinking if it's not perfect, what's the point? And you're feeling inadequate. What are you not thinking about that we've been celebrating for you for like the past like forever?
Well, I'm kind of ignoring, you know, all the tangible evidence that my work is good. Is that, I've had very long-term clients. Um, I've won awards for my work. But then even then, like sometimes I kind of dismiss it and I say, oh, maybe they're only working with me because I'm easy to work with, or I only got the award because, it was part of a team. But then I have to remind myself that sometimes being easy to work with is not necessarily a bad thing.
That's a really great thing, actually. I think it's like why people like hopefully like work with me. And I think it's like something that is a really
Mm.
great thing. So
Yeah.
then what you're doing is you're undermining your ability to see the point that you are an amazing writer and that you're actually like really helping these businesses. Because
Mhm.
like think about like the ability that you have to write. What does that do for a person's business? You said it optimizes their SEO. Like, what are the things that a business could benefit from hiring you?
Um, I think the big one is being able to take something abstract, like an idea, and then, oh, sorry, take something abstract and then put it into concrete words and be able to sell like a product or whatever it might be.
Hmm. Make it concrete. What does it do for them?
Um, that helps their bottom line. They can place ads in their newsletters if they're performing well. Content writing is a big thing.
Hmm. And so with you, when you're thinking about like, this is actually coming back to like kind of the theme of everything. It's like when you are thinking about like this, you're focusing on yourself. You're focusing on like, oh, I don't like, I want to make sure that I am producing a polished product, that I'm focusing on like me and my self-worth and all this stuff, versus just being like, hey, I've got something that can help people for everybody. Like Tamisha and Andrea too. It's like, we've got something that can help people. Let's focus on the people. Like, let's focus on the people who you're writing for, instead of like making it all about like you and your worth. Like, don't you think that this would be worth it for a company to work with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
What has now when you're thinking like if it's not perfect, it's what's the point? You're first off, perfect like is impossible. Just fun fact, like literally like there's especially for something subjective as writing, you literally can't be like, this is the perfect article. But when you're thinking about like the edits and things that are coming their way, like your way, and like listening to them, it's this feeling of inadequacy is keeping you really like stuck from getting kind of curious. So when you're getting the edits, it's like, oh, I wonder why they are thinking that. Like they must be doing this because they think that it's going to be there. I can sell a product better with these edits. I wonder why this is something that they chose. And this is going to make me an even better writer. Like, oh, I'm so excited because now I get it. I get why these edits are coming. Now I see that the bigger picture, and that's going to make you more valuable as a writer. So you can charge more because you're giving more value to them. And you are an undercharge and an over deliver for them because you're like, yeah, you pay me just a smidge and your SEO and click rates go up for life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Within like this like perfectionism, you're putting yourself in like, which is still like a really good, like right now, you're an amazing writer. Like you're already killing it. Imagine how much better your writing is gonna be when you're able to be like, oh, edits are my favorite thing to get. It means that I'm getting even better as a writer.
Yeah, that's
Does
a
it
good
sound like it's believable right now? It might not. That's okay.
Yeah, I think where the confusion kind of occurs for me, and maybe this is like a me problem personally, when you say like think about the customer, that's great and that really helps me when I'm working with each individual client. But then I worry that I get like a little bit too emotionally invested sometimes.
Yes.
Not necessarily with like the product or the writing, but I get attached very easily to people. So I get attached to the people that I'm working with, and then I forget, oh, I'm not actually employed, or, I can't get like too close. It sounds so weird, but I'm such a people person that this really hurts me.
So like if you're working with somebody and your time comes to an end and they don't renew or something.
I think that, but also, when I'm working with clients and we're having such a great time working on something, and then it's almost like, oh, well, this sounds so weird, but like, it's like we won't be working together forever.
And yeah, give me why. Why is that a problem?
I feel like I have to then kind of distance myself.
Mhm.
And maybe this also comes with the fact that, when I was let go from my last job, as soon as I was kind of getting into rhythm, I was let go, and that really hurt.
And I have a feeling that you like wanting to distance yourself and not get into a rhythm. I feel like it is taking away like one of the pieces that you really love about this job away. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I keep muting myself because it's very loud.
Oh, I can't hear anything, but like that is totally fine.
Okay, cool.
I can't hear anything on your end, so that's a great thing. But within it, so it's like this fear. It's funny. It's like you're afraid. Our brain is afraid. Your brain is afraid currently at this moment of like getting let go. So you're like letting yourself go. Like you're like not even letting yourself get attached at all.
Yeah.
Or of being let go. And like, cause that felt sad. Or like, what was the emotion that came up when you were let go?
Again, a lot of it goes back to high school, just
Yeah.
feeling left out
Mhm.
of like groups, of the other shoe kind of dropping. A lot of that comes up for me, surprisingly, especially now.
Oh yeah. Fun fact. Like, and I love that, like, I forget someone said this and they're like, is this like group therapy? And I'm like, yes. A lot of building a business is a lot of like deep mental work and going back in and being like, okay, where in my past is this showing up and help stopping me from believing and dreaming big? So that fear the other shoe is going to drop is preventing you from even putting your shoe out there. Because when the like when you think the other shoe is going to drop and you're feeling scared about like what happened in high school, or the feeling might be fear. It's like, I'm scared the other shoe's gonna drop. I built it up this far, I built it up this big, and now it's all gonna come crashing down. Like, is it fear? Is it like, that's what it sounds like to me, but like,
Yeah, I think it's fear.
so what are you doing from this place of fear?
I freeze.
Hmm. So you make the other shoe drop.
Mhm.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, in our lives, my fear is like, if I scale my business, like every time I scale my business, I experience deep trauma. That's a fun thing, because I like experienced some really bad stuff that happened in 2021, went through a breakup in 2022. So like, that's my thought, that like, that's my other shoe's gonna drop.
Mhm.
I get to be more aware of it as you build, and you're gonna be like, ah, there's that thought again. And here, my thought that I have is like, life is 50-50. I'm going to experience trauma anyways. The other shoe might drop. There's going to be a negative half of life, but I don't want to live my life in fear of, and I don't want to play small for fear of something bad happening in the future. Something bad's going to happen in the future anyways. Might as well live as big as possible before that happens.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, my thoughts, like, I only have one life. There's only one August 8th that I'll ever get back in 2023 in my life. What do I want to do with today that can make an impact on my life and my future from a place of fun and joy? Because again, neurons will fire faster and be better. But like, what can you do to, what can be your thought? Like, if the other shoe's gonna drop, it maybe might as well like live it up while I can. What can be your thought to help you with that other shoe's gonna drop feeling?
Yeah, I think like realizing that anytime I've lost a client or something has not really gone in the way that I wanted it to,
Mm,
you know, I've had other clients come up. I've had more work. So I think that's one of the big reasons why this summer I was super anxious about honestly not having a lot of work. But I was like, if I have my finances in order and I'm, okay otherwise, why shouldn't I just enjoy this lull in my business for the
mhm.
summer? And I feel like a lot of guilt, again, some of the past stuff we've talked about, working hard. It's just there's not much I can do right now aside from networking and, putting myself out there. So why should I feel like guilty?
Yeah. And every time that I noticed it, like, it kept coming up. I'm like, oh, that's an ex. That's my ex's thought. So
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that's my mom's thought, but that's not how I want to go and build my business. And like, actually, to meet you, the professionalism, my mom told me that I was a professional and she'd never buy from me. And I lost out on 7 months of consults. I was like, thanks, Ma. I was like, but fun fact, people don't buy from me because I'm super professional. That's not my thing. And so like, I think that this is learning how to manage your business with trust and life. How to
Mhm.
manage life and business with trust and being like, okay, I'm having this other shoe's gonna drop feeling for a reason. I'm experiencing this lull, like, it's like, I'm going to like just trust in the fact that I'm gonna figure it out. And that maybe that there is like, I don't know if there's a reason for everything, but you can find a reason for everything. And being like, I'm going to trust that this is the way that my business is supposed to go and build. How does that feel?
Yeah, I think that feels a lot better. But that also requires a lot of trust and faith in yourself, right?
Yeah. And it's not like, again, going from good to great. It's like, okay, like currently I've learned to manage my business and trust within this sphere. I'm really good at
Mhm.
trusting when a client is here. Now I'm going to go to the next level and learning how to manage the trust with myself and future clients. It's like, I've already figured it out. Like, because in order for you to retain clients, it means that you've gained trust up until this point. It's like, that's
Mhm.
really great. And I could totally live off of what I'm making and I'm doing awesome and I'm totally safe here. And I would like to grow. It would be kind of fun if I learned how to manage my business. I feel like I would just enjoy my life a lot more if I was just managing my life with trust now.
Yeah.
Let's try and like trust a little bit. Like, it's like just again, when you can come at it from the levity, your thoughts will change so much faster.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So coming back to this goal and being like, okay, so with like the making the other shoe drop, it's like, and these be like, oh, this is high school Vindia's thing. This is like let go Vindia thing. It's like, oh, that's just their things. But I've actually learned and overcome that. How can we shift you like from that state of awareness? Being like, oh, this is just like my old past in order to gain these 2 new clients. What can we do? What can you think? Instead of the other shoe's going to drop, I have to give them something perfect. I'm not working hard enough. I don't know if it's going to work out. Like all those thoughts. What can you think instead?
I think that I trust myself to deliver to the best of my ability with like, the information that I'm given.
Can we like for like a growth thought too and be like, and I'm getting even better at like doing that as I scale my business or something like that, like something that's like more growth mindset-y kind of. So it's like I trust myself and I'm going to get even better. Like as the edits come, I'm going to get even better. I'm going to get even better at bringing in clients. I'm going to get even better about like signing higher pay, something like that, about like the empowering thoughts.
I think that I trust myself to also take my business to the next level as I've, done in the past year or so.
How would you need to feel?
Empowered.
What would you need to do?
I think maybe take a small action every day. So even if it's not addressing all the edits in like 1 hour, it's like maybe, okay, spend like 5 minutes addressing edits. And then maybe try again the next day.
And what would you need to do to bring in these 2 new people? Going to the networking events?
Going to networking events and posting more on Twitter. Like I already do a decent job of posting my articles to Twitter and LinkedIn. But yeah, sometimes I deal with this like weird feeling of like, am I just like bragging? Well, and like I have some weird feelings, but the truth is like I've had people literally find me because of what I've posted and offer me work. So there's just no way around it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so maybe we can work on our thoughts about it and be like, and I'm learning how to like, I'm working on these thoughts about the imposter syndrome, guilt, all these things. And what you can do is notice them and like figure out the source. Like you just did a great job. You're like, oh, that's middle school. Oh, that's me when I got let go. Oh, that's my mom. Like it's like figure out where they're coming from. And this is like the thought stopping, or it's like thought and stopping, where you're like, oh, I see this thought and I'm not going to take action from this thought. Amazing. And guess what? Because you're thinking, I trust myself to take my business to the next level and delivering to the ability of the information you've given from a light thought. Like it's like, yeah, like, of course, I'm going to trust myself. It's like you're going to deliver and grow your business. How's that feel?
Yeah, that feels a lot more empowering.
Good. Demetria, do you have anything to add? Are you feeling good? There's so much here.
I don't think I have anything to add. I was, when she said that she's so attached to people, and that was one of the things, like the thoughts about those relationships not continuing afterwards. I understand that and I get it, but I mean, they maybe won't continue as business relationships, but that doesn't mean that they're like, cut off forever. So don't let that hold you back. But you have important stuff to do in the world, so that's exciting. And take your time right now and enjoy yourself. Yeah, but I get that. I get it. We almost feel like we have to like hustle and grind and go continuously, and evidently we don't. Megan said we don't.
True. And I think that, like, if we're thinking about the businesses that we want to create for generations to come and what we want to be as examples of, I don't want to be like having a business that is like one of like the super rote hard, like I don't want my business in life to feel like that. And I certainly don't want to model that for other people.
Right.
That's been done. Yes. We got to shift it and evolve to the next level, Yes. And then another thing that like within the attached to people that I wanted to offer is like that level of gratitude and being like, I'm so grateful, like like for you guys, like I'm so glad that you guys are in my life right now. I really do think that we came together for a reason. I think it's important. And who knows if you're going to continue? I don't know that just yet. And that's okay. I'm not like feeling as in like, I'm just so grateful that we got to have this time now. And I feel like the universe brought us together for this moment. And I am so excited to like always just continue, of course, to be a part of your lives. And if we want to continue going, I'm like, let's fucking go. It's super fun. And I also am just like, I'm just grateful for the time and just being like, this is awesome. And I have no idea what's going to happen next, but I'm just like leaning into that, like trusting and enjoying it as it goes, Does that land?
Yeah. I think part of that is just like being more in the present, right?
Yes, which is your thing that you're like, I'm really good at that. And then other people have shown you not to be like that. And so it's like, oh, that's their thought. But I want to be grateful in the present. And enjoy today. Because who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. But I know I sure as shit do not want to, like, if we all die tomorrow, I do not want to leave this world having a difficult hustle-free business that I don't enjoy as I build it. Or a hustling business that I don't enjoy. I'm sorry we went over, guys, but this was, I think, so good. I'll share these notes. Feel free, and Vindy, I was talking about at the beginning, testimonials. If you guys want to send them, feel free. And I will see you guys next Tuesday or next Monday and then next Tuesday.
Bye, Megan. Bye, Demetria.
Oh, one more thing. Do you have a thought, Demetria? Okay. All right. I love you guys. Bye.